Our clinical programme is based in the Biostatistics Department of R&D at GSK. We play a major role prior to the preclinical/clinical drug trials of the drug development process. During these drug trials, the drug is tested both in vitro, which means inside glass or plastic vessels in the laboratory, and in vivo, which means inside living organisms. An example of an in vivo test may be to take vital signs of a subject which has been administered with the drug. A lot of data is collected during these drug trials and is all sent to us in the Biostatistics Department so that we can help manipulate and analyse the data to understand whether the drug is safe for our bodies and whether it produces the desired effect. Specifically as clinical programmers, data is sent to us in the form of SDTMs, which are study data tabulation models, and our responsibility is to convert these SDTMs into ADAM datasets, which are analysis datasets. We finally convert these ADAM datasets into TFLs, which are tables, figures and listings to help visualise the data and carry out statistical analysis. To do this manipulation, we use programming languages such as SAS and the internal platform HARP.
As clinical programmers at GSK, we sit within a department called Biostatistics. So Biostatistics is responsible for analysing and producing reports on clinical trials data. So these reports will include things such as GSK's recommendation for the best dosage level, the effectiveness of the drug, and potential side effects that you might see from taking this drug. This report is then sent off to medical governance boards such as the FDA in the United States or the MHRA in the UK. They will then make a decision on whether or not this drug is approved for use in humans within those countries. In order to actually get to this stage, we work very closely with statisticians and also data managers. So data managers are responsible for managing the data which actually comes out of the clinical trials and then putting this data into a standard format which we can program with more easily.
I am a clinical programmer at GSK, and one of the things that we do is work on the R-Metrics project. The R-Metrics project is where we use the R programming language to produce code that will analyze the performance of the biostatistics department on their work related to the clinical trial work. This will basically mean that the biostatistics department will have a dashboard which will be a single place to go to review the key performance indicators. In other words, it'll be a source to go to see their measurement on how well they're doing. And what me and a few other colleagues are doing is that we will convert the SAS programming language to R programming language, and this will help the metrics team deliver the goal of reaching a point where we will go away from SAS and go into the R programming language.
There are a lot of other aspects to our role as well that isn't just programming. For example, there's always so many training courses and calls on, whether that's to do with the science behind a drug or more about the clinical trial process, or even things not to do with our role, such as marketing. There's always lots of opportunity to learn new things. Also, there's a lot of opportunity to get involved in charity work, whether that is just getting involved or running an event yourself. There's lots of scope for that. Not only this, but we also have a lot of social calls, especially to do with working from home. You don't have that interaction as you would in the office. So there are things from just general catch-ups to virtual escape rooms and things like Kahoot quizzes.
One of the biggest reasons why I enjoy working in the pharmaceutical industry is because of the fact that I feel as though I'm part of something bigger than myself. So I currently work as part of a team that's developing a treatment for a type of cancer. And if we can eventually get this approved, I know that even though I was part of many people in the team that's developed this, I've made a contribution to actually improving many people's lives around the world.
Why did I become a clinical programmer? Is because I really enjoy technology, and I also had an interest in medicine. So when I combined technology and medicine together, clinical programming was one of the pathways I could take. When I came into clinical programming, I discovered that teamwork and communication were important, and these two attributes within a work are something that I really like because I enjoy helping people, and I also enjoy working in a team because I can learn from them, and I could also help them improve. But yeah, those are the three main reasons why I became a clinical programmer.
I've always enjoyed data handling and statistics. So although programming in particular is a new skill of mine, it's in line with, what I'm good at and what I enjoy. And not only that, but the industry I find it so interesting, but not only that, I would argue, the most important industry that there is out there. It's changing lives, saving lives even. And to be a small part of that just feels incredible, really.
At A level, I did biology, chemistry and maths. This was because during school I really enjoyed the sciences, but I particularly loved maths. What I loved about maths was the problem solving side, and that's why I chose to do computer science at university. But when it came to choosing an industrial placement, I wanted to work at a company that would help me combine all my interests. So a clinical programmer role at GSK was the perfect role for me because it gave me a chance to explore my interests in biology and chemistry whilst also using all the skills I had learned at university doing computer science.
How did my career begin as a GSK employee clinical programmer? I started off at A level where I picked my STEM subjects, which were chemistry, maths and computer science. I then realised I had an interest in computer science, so I did a degree at a university, which was King's College London, University of London, and they offered a course which included an industrial placement on my third year, which is the year I'm in right now. And in this year, I had to basically pick a job, apply for it, and work in this job. And the job I picked was something that was related to computer science and medicine because I'm interested in medicine. So when I combined them both, clinical programming was one of the options. I took upon it on the opportunity I had, and here I am right now working as a clinical programmer at GSK.
During the summer holidays after my first year at university, I was lucky enough to get a 4-week internship at an IT company based in India. This company worked to create websites for other companies and carry out their data analysis to help companies understand their consumer behaviour. For these 4 weeks, I sat in the data science department and had the opportunity to use amazing platforms such as Google Analytics and Power BI, and also gain some experience in SQL. This was my first taste into the data science world, and because I enjoyed it so much, I knew that a clinical programmer role would be suited to me at GSK.
Obviously, I'm at the very start of my career, but I guess when I was looking for placements, I was searching jobs to do with analysing data or using statistics. Obviously found this one, had to apply, do some online assessments, and then go in person for an assessment centre last February. Just showcasing the skills that they were looking for. Here I am.
My current role as a clinical programmer at GSK is actually my first full-time job, and it's also my first programming role. That being said, it's not the first steps that I've taken in my working career. I have worked part-time as a tennis coach, so did that for about 7 to 8 years before I came to GSK, and I've also worked as a multi-sports coach on kids' holiday camps, and I did that for about 3 years. Before I came to GSK, I did A-levels in maths, physics and economics, and I currently study an undergraduate degree in maths with finance at Newcastle University.
I would say work on your skills such as problem solving, logical thinking, decision making and organisation. And then also specifically for programming, I think the main one would be to to be able to deal with data and understand data fully. We have to deal with such large groups of data, and you really have to be able to wrap your head around it to be able to effectively do something to it. So what it does, what it means, the relationship between everything. You just need to make sure you can do that to be able to efficiently work with data.
Another advice or tip to someone that may follow the same or similar career path as me would be to do well in school, meet deadlines, and just work hard, keep working hard. And also just having that skill to learn new things, or an adaptability to learn new things, that'll be great skill to have for work, because you'll be constantly learning at work, and also taking up opportunities that you get that comes your way. So let it be volunteering opportunities or helping out your community or school. Those will be things that will help you develop skills for further down your career path.
A good thing to do, I think, is to keep up with the industry. So that might be to gain some work experience in the line of work that you want to go into. So for me, that was doing a data science internship, and that showed that I'd really gone out my way to find out more about what I wanted to do, and I already had some industrial experience. Secondly, I'd say it would be good to read up on the technical skills that are beneficial in that industry and spend some time growing your knowledge about them, and maybe even doing some courses. Lastly, I'd say it's definitely very important to keep up with the news and read about what's new and recent in that industry.
From my experience, companies that are trying to hire entry-level clinical programmers are not necessarily looking for people that have heaps of programming experience or loads of knowledge about the industry. What they're looking for is for you to be able to demonstrate a passion. So first of all, I would say to make sure that you know why you enjoy programming and have some examples to back this up. So this might be projects at school or personal projects that you've done in your own time, or even things that you do at uni if you decide to go down that route. The second thing that I would say is to make sure that you're just up to date with the industry and make sure you've done a bit of reading around it before you apply and before you go for your interview. Honestly, I didn't even know that clinical programming was a job until about 18 months ago. I also knew next to nothing about the pharmaceutical industry, and I hadn't even done any programming before that point. So I first came across clinical programming as a job when I saw it on GSK's website as I was looking through their placement schemes, and I decided to do some more research. Then off the back of that, I decided to apply, and that's how I got to where I am now. So in answer to the question, I definitely didn't know what I wanted to do all of my life, and I only really came across programming as a potential career path for me about 1.5 years ago.
Yes, I really like the aspect of teamwork and communication and problem solving within my job. Teamwork and communication, because I see the value within them. I can learn from other people's knowledge, and they can also learn from us, and it's also efficient to get things done. And also, problem solving is a thing that I always liked since GCSE. So I see an interest in that. I don't get bored easily. I love solving problems, and programming is something that's used to solve problems. Also, medicine and technology are things that I have an interest in. So combining them both to work in clinical programming means that I get to do something that I really like, and also like helping people. So yes, I do like clinical programming, the work I do now.
At school and when applying to university, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew I enjoyed maths and I was good at it, so for my degree I chose maths and finance. And doing so, I definitely left my options very open. When I was applying to placements, I was amazed at how many industries were open to me, how many different job roles, jobs that I didn't even know either existed or that I had the skill set for. So no, I didn't always know that I wanted to do this because I didn't realise that I could. But as soon as I saw it, everything about it was ideal. The role, the company, the industry, everything was perfect for me. But yeah, don't worry if you don't know what you want to do yet, because I didn't, and I found a job role that was perfect for me, that I really enjoy.
No, I didn't always want to become a clinical programmer. In fact, at one point I really wanted to do medicine because I really enjoyed the sciences, and both my parents are doctors, so I'd always grown up in a very medical environment. But I really enjoyed maths and I never wanted to give that up, and so I didn't choose to go down that route.